But about a week and a half later, I'm watching the news and they're describing a vehicle that sounds quite familiar. Hey gorgeous people, welcome back to my channel, NaturallySym. And I'm bringing you my first ever storytime video. So I was perusing through YouTube, watching one of my favorite YouTubers who happens to be Toronto based, shout out to the T-Dot, Miss Hey Paris, doing big things. I saw her video on her witnessing an attempted kidnapping, and I know this is possibly the worst story that could trigger memories in my mind, but it did. And it made me think of a situation that I encountered in high school where your girl was almost a victim of kidnapping. So I don't see how this could have gone any other way based on the ending of the story and the facts that were presented. But yeah, the common sense got me out of the situation, but unfortunately this doesn't happen in every situation. Things often turn ugly, but I was an unfortunate party in this case. So basically I went to high school in a neighboring town. It wasn't too far, but the reason for this is because I was in French immersion and my parents wanted me to go to a French Catholic school. They wanted me to wear the uniform, all the shebang, all that jazz. So I ended up going to school in a neighboring town, like I said, and as such, all of my friends lived there. Oftentimes I would hang out after school. That's where the majority of my friends lived, obviously. So I remember one night I was hanging with one of my girls. Let's call her Morgan. So yeah, I'm hanging out at Morgan's house. All of her friends are there. Like I said, they all lived in the area, so it was like the chill spot. But anyway, at the time there wasn't much in the area. It was a new residential area that was in the beginning stages of construction. So there were a lot of dark roads, not many lampposts, all of that. But luckily there were bus stops. It was accessible by bus, and obviously not many high school students drive, and if they do, it's later on in their high school career. So I was at Morgan's house and it started to get dark, started to get late. And I said to myself, let me hop myself on this bus and head home before my Caribbean parents go off on me. So she walked me down to the bus stop, which was on now it's a main road, but at the time it wasn't as heavily used. And like I said, there wasn't much lighting, there wasn't much development. Right off the bat, it was pretty sketchy area. I remember Morgan walked me to the bus stop and we're just there chilling, waiting. Now, where I'm from, buses don't come often. The public transit is atrocious. So you find yourself waiting for a bus anywhere from half an hour to an hour, if you're lucky. So Morgan and I are there waiting. That scared me. So Morgan and I are there waiting for my bus to come. Not many cars passing. It wasn't even that late. This was probably like 8 o'clock in the night. Yeah, so we're waiting. Next thing we see an old vehicle approaching. I don't quite know the name of these vehicles, but when you see them, it's like you kind of get a bit weirded out. They're kind of like a sketchy looking type of vehicle, not to stereotype or anything. I'm gonna try and find a picture to give you guys a better idea, but it was a little sketch, driving by slowly. Then they pull up right in front of us, roll down the window and say,
"Are you waiting for a bus?"
No, I'm just standing here picking my nose. Obviously I'm waiting for a bus. So I didn't want to engage him, but Morgan was the outgoing, talkative type. She's like, yeah, we're waiting for a bus. You know, making small talk with this creepy dude. So this guy proceeds to ask us,
"Both getting on the bus? Is it just one of you?"
So Morgan with her big mouth says,
she's waiting for the bus. I'm just here walking her.
Didn't your mom tell you not to talk to strangers? So this guy proceeds to say,
I had to stop because one of my close friends, she was waiting for a bus late one night and she ended up getting attacked. So anytime I see a female waiting for a bus, it worries me. Let me give you a ride home.
Excuse me, sir, I don't know you. So Morgan, oh Morgan, looks at me and says,
Maybe you should go. Yeah, maybe you should go.
and I'm looking at her like, heck no, no. So the guy at this point becomes kind of combative. He's getting aggressive. He's saying,
Oh, I swear, like, I'm just doing this because I'm concerned. You can hold my license. You can hold my wallet. Here.
now sir, my name is not Boo Boo the Fool, okay? What makes you think that it would comfort me to hold your wallet getting into a vehicle with you? If you wanted to knock me out and take it back and have your way with me, you could do that easily. I'm not stupid. So anyway, Morgan's there saying,
You should go.
making small talk with this guy. I'm here the whole time with a terribly sick feeling. Something just told me that things weren't adding up. The entire time the guy was being very pushy, insisting, oh, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just looking out for you. So finally, when he sees that I'm not budging, he says, okay, so if you're not gonna come with me, I'm gonna wait until the bus comes. I'm just gonna pull over on the side road, which was, it kind of cut across the main road. It wasn't too far from where the bus stop was. It was literally, you can see it. It was within eyesight, but it was a side road. This guy says, I'm going to park along the side road and I'm gonna wait until your bus comes because I'm concerned for your safety. And if you change your mind, if you decide that you want that ride, just come over. I'll be right over here just waiting. So Morgan's like engaging it. She's thinking this is the best idea ever. I'm here like, dude, no. Like, even though it wasn't the smartest and safest idea to be waiting for a bus at night, high schoolers do dumb things. I'm not gonna excuse that. Back then I wasn't thinking. And also back then we didn't have stuff like Uber, which would make it safer and easier, but that's besides the point. I'm like, whatever. If you're not gonna take no for an answer, at least you're over there. You're far away from me, but I can keep my eye on you, whatever. The worst thing you could do is follow me home, but my parents will be waiting. Kind of would have been a lot to do. It's kind of a long shot, but you never know. But at least this guy was out of my face. So not 10 minutes passes. It must have been like maybe 2-3 minutes, not long at all. This guy comes back, loops around, and shouts out,
Oh, I just got a call. I have an emergency. I have to go.
2 seconds ago, you were so concerned about my well-being. You wanted to stay there and see that I got on the bus safely. And then suddenly, once I turned down your offer of driving me home, a few minutes later, you have an emergency to tend to. So that was another red flag for me. Morgan's there like,
Oh, I hope everything's okay. Thank you. Bye.
I'm there like, thank God this weirdo's gone. Like, nothing felt right about that situation. So anyway, maybe like 5 minutes later, the bus comes. So I say bye to Morgan, hop on the bus. She walked right back to her house, which wasn't too far from the bus stop, but still, let me reiterate, it's not safe for females to be out late on their own. And we have to be mindful of that, and we have to take precautions, and we have to think about our safety. But back then in high school, high schoolers do silly things. Long story short, the night ends. I get home safely, la da da, call Morgan, let her know I'm home, cool. Maybe about, I wanna say like a week and a half later, and this gives me chills. And I didn't tell my parents about this because, especially my mom, she likes to worry, which is completely understandable. But about a week and a half later, I'm watching the news. I'm gonna try and find this news clip because this kind of sounds hard to believe, but this actually happened. And they're describing a vehicle that sounds quite familiar, stating that this guy was driving around trying to lure females to go with him, and there was a post out looking for anyone who came in contact with him and warning females not to go with this man. Now, as a teenager, like, I kept this to myself. I didn't follow through with it. I was just creeped out. I don't even know if Morgan caught on to the story or she heard about it. I didn't even tell her about it. But this just confirms my point. When you have a feeling, when your intuition is telling you something, don't dismiss it. That is there for a reason. Your intuition is there to guide you, to protect you. And I know it's easy to push aside and attribute it to you being paranoid or whatever you want to say. Yes, it's easy to do that, but your intuition is in place for a reason. And who knows what could have happened to me that night if A, I didn't follow my intuition, and B, if I listened to Morgan, because Morgan was all for it. Because it wasn't her going with this random. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, especially being a young woman, always be aware of your surroundings, always follow your intuition, always follow measures to ensure that your safety is number one, and don't let anyone try and push you into doing otherwise. No one knows yourself better than you do. So yes, guys, this was my first story time. I want to say I hope you guys enjoyed it, but at the same time, it's kind of a twisted story, so I don't really expect you to enjoy it. But if you want to hear more story times from me, just let me know. I have quite a few. I have a lot of high school story times. I was really silly and naive in high school, but I'm sure a lot of people can say that about themselves. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my video and tuning into my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'll be releasing a whole bunch of new videos this coming month. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you can relate to the story. Anyway, guys, until next time, stay gorgeous.